In this lesson, I'd like to show you how to add headers and footers to an Acrobat document. To create headers and footers, just click on Edit PDF in the Tools pane. And here's header and footer up at the top. When I click on it, I have three options. I can add a header footer, I can update or edit, and I can also remove a header footer. I'm going to choose to add a header footer. After you've made some settings to a header or footer, you can save those settings if you'd like. In the font, you can change the font, the size, you can make it underline or change the color as well. As you go along, you may need to adjust the margins to the top and the bottom margin, and also the left and right indents may need adjustment as well. You have a couple of options for your headers and footers. You can shrink the document to avoid overwriting any content that may be sticking down or into the header or the footer. You can also keep the position and size exactly the same when printing headers and footers on different pages. You have a 6-celled area here where you can choose the left header text, the center header text, the right header text. You can also do this for the footer for the left, center, and right. It'll be left aligned, center aligned, or right aligned. This is very similar to what you'll see if you used headers and footers inside of Excel. You can also insert page numbers, you can insert a date, and you can also create a custom format for these as well. I'm going to start by coming up and clicking on the center header text. And in the center header text, I'm going to go ahead and insert a date, and it pops in just the default date format. Up here you see the code, but down below you can actually see in the preview window what this will look like, and you can move from page to preview these as you go along. The date looks a little small, so maybe I'll change the size. I'll come up and choose a larger size, and that looks a little bit better. To change the format of the date that I've chosen, I can go ahead and just choose page number and date format, and I will go ahead and make a change here. I'm going to choose this format for the 4-digit year. I'll click OK. Now if you'll notice, the format didn't change. What you need to do is come up here and delete the current date, go ahead and insert a new date, and it'll pick up the format that you chose down here, and now I see the date has been updated. So set up your formatting first, and then go ahead and enter your date formats, page numbering formats up in your headers and footers. I'd like to include a footer somewhere down here. I want to put in a page number, so I'm going to come out here, and first thing I'm going to do is change my page number format ahead of time, and I'm going to start this at page 1. I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and then I think I'll place this in the footer. And then I'll come out and choose Insert Page Number, and I can see it down here. If I'd like to change the position of my footer on the right-hand side, bottom of my page, I could come up and bump up the bottom footer a little, and you can see it move up here. And if I want to move it to the right, I can just bump that up as well. And I think I'll just balance this out. I'll do it over here on the left as well. And then I'll go ahead and type in some text over in the left footer. Type in some text, and that looks good. And I would just want to check this throughout my pages. So I'm previewing page 1. I can go ahead and preview page 2 as well. And that looks like it's working pretty good. Now I'd like to reuse these headers and footers over and over again. So up at the top, I'm going to go ahead and choose Save Settings, and I'm going to give this a name. And I'll just call this 10-page head foot. I'll go ahead and click OK, and now I can see it in my list. Now if I come back out here and I just go ahead and click OK, I can see that I've applied the header and the footer out here. If I come back out to header and footer and I choose to add another header and footer, I'm just going to go ahead and say replace existing header footer. I can come back out here and just choose this or some other header footer that I may have saved, and then I'll just go ahead and click OK.